Hello, EO Houston. My name is Dan Lehane, and this is Frank Vega. And we wanted to do a wrap-up meeting from last year as my term ends, and kind of an intro meeting as Frank Vega's term begins. But first of all, I'd like to tell you that I am honored to have served as your president. It's been a fantastic experience for me, and I've enjoyed every second of leading this chapter. We had a fantastic year. And I'll tell you that I really feel wholeheartedly that I'm leaving you in really great hands with Frank. I did want to report back to you that EO Houston has, for the second year in a row, been recognized as a Rockstar chapter. So what is a Rockstar chapter? Well, there's a lot of things that you have to accomplish, from member surveys to the amount of events that you have to many other things. But it's very difficult to achieve those things, and so difficult that out of the 106 chapters that EO has, Houston is one of only 6 chapters that's ever had the status of Rockstar chapter 2 times. One of the things that I hear on the radio and on TV is, "Are you ready for the hurricane?" And it makes me think about how our year started with Hurricane Ike. And I've never been prouder of being a EO Houston member or an EO member as I was when I saw the EO Houston people pull together and help each other out. It was really a devastating time for a lot of our members. And not only did we see support from our local members, as I would suspect, but we had chapters from as far as EO Buffalo come down and help some of our EO members. So it was really something that was neat to see how the EO Brotherhood really sticks together when things get tough. One of our goals for the year, when we were planning for this year, was to really engage a larger core of members. And I'm happy to report back to you that we indeed did do that. We had a record amount of members show up and attend and participate in this year's learning calendar. So as a board, we're real excited about that. Also, we had our best year ever on member surveys, value surveys at the end of each event. So not only were we able to get more people involved this year, but we also feel like we provided some really great take-home content. We had some fantastic speakers. Many of you attended all of them. But some of the speakers that we had Chip Conley talk about peak performances and how you get your mojo from Maslow. We had Dave Thompson talk about the blueprint to $1 billion and how to grow your company. We had Brian Tracy come speak to us about sales and how to motivate your sales team in a down economy. One of my favorite events of the year was our kickoff party at the Armadillo Palace. I got to see members riding mechanical bulls, dancing, singing, and of course taking a lot of tequila shots. Then of course we had the Texas Roundup, which was phenomenal. We had a 3-day weekend, and it was our turn to host the Texas Roundup, and I'm happy to tell you that Houston just set the bar. Houston was recognized as hosting the largest regional event ever in the history of EO, and we had 312 people attend the Texas Roundup. So we're very excited about that, and everybody that worked on that, from Jim McVaugh to Ben Richter to Shannon Schrader and to Ron Merrill and many other people that I'm forgetting to mention. Thank you very much for a fantastic event. Next year, the Texas Roundup is going to be in Dallas, and so I'm looking forward to heading up north and supporting our Dallas brothers when they produce a hopefully even better Texas Roundup. Spring of 2011, EO Houston is going to host a global university. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll have people from all over the world coming to our city, and it's just going to be a fantastic event. But once again, thank you very much for allowing me to serve as your president for EO. It was truly a pleasure, and I enjoyed every second of it.
We're looking forward to serving you as EO Houston president. I want to talk to you today about our 5 major initiatives for the upcoming year. We're looking to build a more intimate EO Houston community, streamlining our membership integration process, installing internal systems for growth, creating external awareness of EO in the Houston entrepreneurial community, and lastly, having a large event, the Houston Entrepreneur Symposium. and we're looking to use that for recruitment, as a top-notch learning event, and also as a venue for our sponsors. In an effort to run EO Houston in an even more consistent manner, the board has initiated some changes recently. I want to discuss those with you. The top three being that we've gone from a part-time administrator to a full-time administrator. We've lengthened the board terms from 1 year to 2 years. And then lastly, we've added a position, the Director of Market Development, who will be heading up our new member growth. I'm looking forward to serving with some extraordinary board members this year. When you see them out, either at events or in your own forum, please be sure to say thank you to them for their volunteer efforts. This year I'll be serving with Paula Manning on mentorship, Alan McLean on Accelerator, Michael Reed on Forum, Greg Giles, Finance, Don Owens on Sponsorship, Sandra Jonas on Membership, and Ty Hoffer on Communications. In addition to those board members, we also have our President-elect Steve Satterwhite, who's also the chair for the 2011 University. Stacy McLeod is our administrator. I'm sure you've heard from her. One of our initiatives for this upcoming year is to build a more intimate EO Houston community. And what we mean by that is giving EOs more time to spend getting to know one another. And the way we're looking to do that is through more events that are social in nature. So we'll be having a monthly meeting at a restaurant. We'll also be having quarterly outings for golf, for family outings, for poker, for outdoor activities, and also cultural events. And in addition to that, we'll be having what we call proximity events, and that's where we find EOs who live near one another or work near one another and get them together for either lunch or dinner. Another way we're looking to foster more intimacy at the EO Houston level is to get more of our members involved in the board and on committees. Currently, we have a moderator-elect quarterly luncheon. We found it to be extremely effective. We're going to expand that slightly by adding the treasurer from each forum and having them come to a quarterly meeting where we'll discuss the EO finances and the board strategy decisions. And then also the recruitment individual that works for each of the chapters will put some time in on the membership committee, whereby they'll work on the what we call discussion dates, which is really more of somewhat of an interview for prospective EO clients, or I'm sorry, EO members, where they get a chance to understand better what EO is, and likewise we get a better feel for those prospective members.
I'm happy to report to you that we've made the decision not to raise your dues this year. I know many of you got a notice from Global saying that the dues would be going up on a global level, and they indeed will be, but it'll go up $100. So, but we've decided to freeze a dues increase for this year. I know auto renewal isn't for everyone, but just so you know, it'd be a huge help to your local board if you would go ahead and check the box auto renew for next year and the years to come. If you could sign up for auto renew the next time you renew, it would save us a lot of administrative time to focus on some of the other initiatives that Frank was speaking of earlier. This will be the first year that you can take advantage of quarterly payments instead of paying for your dues in one lump sum in June or July. You can do it quarterly, and where you can just put your credit card on file and they'll charge you quarterly. There is a 10% increase, so your dues this next year will be $3,700, which includes Global's portion. In the event that you decide to do it quarterly, it'll be a $1,000 per quarter charge, so it's $4,000. At each one of your forum meetings, either the last month or the upcoming month, there'll be a survey that we'd like you to fill out that talks about the value that you received from your local chapter this year.
In addition to the initiatives already mentioned, the board is also reviewing the following. We're looking at a Forum Olympics competition, monthly payments, possibly having an advisory board to advise our board, endowment and grant opportunities for EO Houston, insurance benefits for EO Texas, and also, as I mentioned, we've moved to 2-year terms for the board. That allows us to be a little more strategic in thinking, allow us to get a little bit more done for you. And lastly, we're changing up our board meetings, looking to cut some expenses there. So we're moving those to Capital One, which is our sponsor, having their offices. In addition to that, we're not going to be having those catered any longer. So cutting costs as much as possible as we can. And then lastly, I want to discuss the new Director of Market Development that we've added on. I wanted to assure you that her salary is very much linked to her performance. In addition to that, the new member growth that we're expecting to have, there's a $300 initiation fee for new members, and that's going to cover a good portion of what her expenses would be. Thank you so very much for your time today. We appreciate it. Dan and I are available for questions at any time. As you know, all of our board meetings are open to members to attend. We'd love to have you there. Look forward to seeing you at the next event. Thank you so very much.